Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I am here with this wedding planner and organizer. So I'm super excited about flipping through this planner. This is a planner that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. Like I said, it is the big wedding planner and organizer. This one is called Blooming Elegance, and I thought I would flip through it and just show you what it looks like on the inside. So that way, if you are interested in getting it, you'll at least have an idea of what is in here. So that way you can look for it. So again, I found this at my Hobby Lobby, but I know that some of the wedding planners did also release at Joann's. I'm not sure if it's this one or some other like versions of it, but this one I did find, like I said, at Hobby Lobby. So let's get into it. All the packaging and everything else is still on here just because I purchased it, but I have not flipped through it. I am already married, and so my plan is not to get married again. I just like to buy these just to see them and get an idea for what is in here. I cannot get this off. And also just to save these planners for, friends and family who might be getting married. So one of the biggest things for this wedding planner is that this is, I believe, the first time that a wedding planner has been in the big size. All of the previous versions that the Happy Planner has released have been in classic size. So I think this is really nice if you're doing wedding planning to be able to just print everything out on letter size, like all of your invoices, receipts, any notices that you're getting from your vendors, and just being able to put it straight in here as letter size instead of having to cut it down and trim it, punch it, all of that type of stuff. I think that's super helpful. So I do like that it is in big size now, for those of you who are interested in that. So this one says love, laughter, happily ever after, and happily ever after. And it has like this gold foil right here that like contrasts nicely. It is plastic discs. This set is black. I really kind of like that, the way that that looks. Now, again, more packaging. Okay, so the inside cover you can see here is super cute. It's like this floral pattern, and it kind of flows right here into the hello page as well. And so it says Happy Planner Wedding Edition. This big planner belongs to, and you have a chance to put both your name and your spouse's name. I love that. And then the date, so you can put the date of your wedding. I love that. Okay, so one of the things that I've noticed with these newer layouts, the ones that have been released in 2024, is like this back page has like a message from Happy Planner, which I really actually like. And it does have some things for you to think about and journal about. So this one says, congrats on your engagement. Happy Planner is honored to lead you through this exciting journey, and today is just the beginning of all of the fun. The wedding planning process is detailed and time consuming, so taking care of yourself during this time is vital to creating the wedding of your dreams. Couples planning their weddings tend to feel the need to push themselves, often forgetting that self-care should still be their number one priority. Below are some tips and affirmations to successfully care for yourself and your partner as you dive into the planning process. So I am going to not read through everything, but I'll just read the headlines or like the headings here. It says self-care tips. There's one that says pace yourself, take a break, don't compare, social sleep, so taking a break from social media, remember your why, and then right here there are a couple of affirmations, and then here is self-care practices. List the self-care practices you want to incorporate, and it's mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, and social. So I love that. And again, just think about some of the things that you can do to take care of yourself during the wedding planning process. I think that's really important and a good reminder to think about that and put it front and center. So this first divider says checklist. One day someone will walk into your life and make you see why it never worked out with anyone else. Oh, I love that. That's such a nice message. Right. And so the checklist section starts off here with the timeline checklist. And again, I won't read through everything. I'll hold it up just a little bit so you can kind of see it. But the first set says getting started. The next one says 12 months plus before, so more than a year out. And then right here it says 10 to 11 months before your wedding. Right, and then that's the continuation of 10 to 11 months. Right, then we have 8 to 9 months before the wedding. We have 6 to 7 months before the wedding. Right, I'm assuming they're all great ideas. For me, my wedding was fairly low key, so I don't know that I would have done every single thing on here, but it's nice to have it all laid out for you. So here's the continuation of 6 to 7 months before the wedding. Then we have 4 to 5 months before the wedding, 3 months before the wedding, and then the continuation of that section. I can't hold it up, it's a big planner, so it's kind of heavy. So 3 months there at the top, right? Then 2 months before, hold on, let me get it all on screen. All right, 2 months before, 1 month before. Oh, it just caught my eye. Make care plans for your home, pets, and plants. Yeah, that's smart. Okay, so here's 1 month before, again, continued, and then 1 to 2 weeks before, and then the day before, and then I love this, it has a beyond the wedding. So after the wedding, what are some of the things that you can do? So again, I won't read through that. Hopefully that was slow enough, or at least you could take screenshots and do what you need to get that information. For me, again, my wedding was low key, so I would have not necessarily needed every single item, but I think it's nice to have it listed out. But even if there's things that are unique about your wedding, there are spots here where you're able to list some of these things, and that occurs for every single section, as you can see, except for these last 2 sections. So the way I would do this, if you had some things that you needed to do the day before or after the wedding, I would just add some note paper right in here and just continue with that. So that was the entirety of the checklist section. The second section is calendar, and it says to have and to hold, kind of mimics the front cover here, right? So it says 12 months to go. There is a graph section right here, and then it has important dates, to-do list, time together. So I like this. It says organize time together every month during your planning process. Use the space below to plan special date nights or note moments you shared outside of wedding planning. Oh, I love that. Sometimes we can become super focused on wedding planning, especially, if it's a longer engagement. And so, being able to take time to be a couple and not be just wedding planners, but a couple, I think that's really important. Right. So right here is a notes section, and then it has two boxes. You can put your own heading here, and then it's kind of like a dot grid section. So that's what that looks like. And then you do have the monthly the monthly calendar. That's a Sunday start, and so you can fill it out with all the different dates here, right? And then it just repeats itself. 11 months to go. The prompt right here changes. So this one says, "How are you having fun and spending time together this month?" Right, and then the calendar again. 10 months to go. Right, that one says the same thing. Right, so it's just that starting in month 2 or 11 months out, it says, "How are you having fun and spending time together this month?" So that's all the same, right? I'm going to just quickly look through this. I think that's all the same. Okay, and so this is the 1 month before. You get the dashboard, right? Dashboard, the monthly, and then it ends with a notes page, just to kind of not leave this be a blank page. So you have enough pages in here to have both a dashboard and a monthly calendar for wedding planning, which I find super useful. I think personally, for me as a functional planner, I think the dashboard is more helpful here. But I can also see you might want to make important memories and jot those here for your dress fitting, or any kind of important meetings that you have with your vendors. You might want to note it here just so you have track of it all together. But a lot of that for me would go into my personal planner. Okay, so this third section is contacts. Loving you is a wonderful way to spend a lifetime. And so it's broken down into different categories. So each of the boxes has name, address, website, phone, and email. But then it covers wedding planner, venue reception, venue ceremony, venue rehearsal dinner, officiant, caterer, bakery, florist, photographer, videographer, musicians, DJ for the ceremony, and then musicians, DJ for the reception, rental company, dress shop / designer, bridal party shop. Let's see what else. All right, then it has hairstylist, makeup artist, formal wear shop, ring shop / designer, transportation, accommodations. So you can use it, for example, for your family, maybe you have a hotel block for your family members who are coming in from out of town, or friends coming out from out of town, or you could have accommodations for your honeymoon, which I assume though that would be a separate section. You might want to have a honeymoon section. Yeah, so I see it a little bit later, but maybe just other hotel blocks or any other accommodations that you might need. Maybe you have a night before or a spa date or something like that occurs around the wedding that you want to add. And then here you have 8 boxes for your own. You put your own heading and list that, and then another 8, so that's 16 total. This page is awesome because you can actually also pull this out and use it in any other planner. So it is not, this one is not wedding specific, as you can see. So that's super cool. Definitely usable in other planners. So this next section, the 4th one, says vision plus style. This is where our forever starts, is what the divider says. And so this is, of course, the vision board for the wedding. So it says wedding style. Sit down with your partner and discuss the vision and priorities you each have for your wedding day. Complete the worksheets provided in this tab to assist you in making key decisions that will make your wedding day special and unique to you and your partner. So describe your wedding. You can check all the different like words, adjectives that apply to your wedding, the season that you want to have it in, the date, the preferred month, maybe some preferred dates, the ceremony hour, like this is like different times of day. I guess age limit, so do you want children or no children? All right, ideal size, and so it has 50 or fewer, 50 to 150 or 150 plus, and so a chance for you to write your estimated guest count. Wedding priorities, what are some of the things that you want to prioritize? What are the most important things for your wedding? Wedding party, what's the ideal wedding party size? And then who do you want? Like there are different, like there's best men, groomsmen, flower bearers, bridesmaids. All right, and then you can draft your wedding party, so you can list some names here. Dreams and vision. Use this page to write down words and doodles that best describe your dream wedding. The more freeform you get, the better your ideas will find. Sorry, the better the ideas you will find. I can't read today. So this is like kind of a light dot grid. I would personally use this very similar to like a vision board. Like I would print things from Pinterest because I'm not very good at doodling. And then so I would print photos out, like inspo photos, and then just kind of write and journal around that. That's how I would do that. And then right here it says venue, and use this worksheet to help visualize your venue location and features. I won't read through this entire page, but it says ceremony details, reception details, traditions and rituals you want to keep, toasts and speeches that you want to include, right? Location options for you. And then right here, things to consider. Make sure you keep your guest count in mind, and then transportation to and from. So that's really good. Again, really nice to kind of workshop and brainstorm with your partner with some of this. Right, color palette ideas. You can see, obviously, there's lots of different colors on here for you to choose from. And they're grouped together, so you can kind of use it like that. And then here's another page that's dot grid that you can just pretty much do more vision board type stuff. Here you can do color related stuff because it's in that same section. Here is where you finalize the colors. So help visualize your wedding color palette. Once you've decided on your palette, make sure to star it as your favorite. So that's kind of like working from here and then moving it here. Oh, you know what's kind of cool is like maybe you can cut this out. Yeah, it says you can paste these, like you can cut them out and paste them in here. Okay, that's cool. I like that. So you can star your favorite one or circle your favorite one after a while. All right, and then this one says decor/ceremony. Use this worksheet to help visualize your ceremony decorations. So the entrance, the aisle and seating, the altar, other. Here for the reception, you have cocktail hour, bar, drink area, the general area, tables and seating. So I love this. This is like very organized and methodical in like thinking about every single aspect of the wedding. Right here for florals, you have personal florals, decor florals. You can choose florals by color, like there's like red, green, pink, blue, and it gives you some example florals. Bouquet styles that you can put your actual floral piece together in some of these styles. And then here is any other decor. All right, again, I would use this kind of like a vision board area. Okay, then here we get into attire. So we start off with the bride, of course. There's dress and veil and all the different like aspects of the dress and veil, accessories and shoes. And then for the bridal party, the maid or matron of honor, bridesmaids, flower bearers, mother of bride, groom, and then the overall look and some things to consider. Here for the groom and his side of the party, right? So we have jacket and shirt, trousers, accessories, the groomsmen, the ring bearers, the father of the bride, and the father of the groom, right? Some other things to consider. And then here are the beauty things. So hair, makeup and body, bridal party, what you want their look to look like, flower bearers, and then here are some hairstyle ideas and things to consider. So I'm going through this fairly quickly just because, you know, not everyone needs all of these things, but I think it's nice to at least hear out loud what each page kind of has without reading every single word. But here it says stationery basics. Below are some of the essential stationery items you may need during your wedding planning process, along with our sizing recommendations. Oh, that's really cool. All right, so like right here, it has A2 envelope, and like you want to have that for your save the dates. And then wedding invitations, usually A7, and then here's some enclosure cards, response cards, the sizes for that. Wedding programs, menu cards, escort cards, place cards, thank you cards. Actually, that's really nice. I really needed this. Okay, so then here you can help visualize how you want your invitations and stationery items to look. So the overall design and like all of that is right here. Then invitation details. What information do you want on the invitations? What do you want on the response card, the enclosure card, any other cards that you're including? And then what are some of the ideas and must-haves that you have for your invitation? And then more printed materials that you might want to have. Since you might be hiring out some of this, here's some other things that you can include as part of your package. So I love that. All right, food and drink. All right, this is definitely my husband's priority. He said number one most important thing is making sure that the food is delicious. All right, so use this worksheet to help visualize your wedding day food, cake, and drink options. So here's meal and service. So some things like here, it says, do you want the dinner service to be buffet, food stations, family style, etc. Right, and so what are the flavors? What are the entrees? Cake and dessert, and of course all the information related to that. Bar and drinks, and then here cocktail hour. Do you want a cocktail hour, and what do you want to include during cocktail hour? Dietary needs, and then things to consider. And this is cool. This is kind of like very, very, like modern day, right? Wedding hashtag. Use this worksheet to create your perfect hashtag and encourage guests to connect. So what are some of the things to incorporate in the hashtag? Some tips for it. Music and ceremony is like the second half of this sheet. So what are some of the musical styles you want to include and details related to the music? Seating of guests, what music do you want during that? Wedding party entrance, bride's entrance, any exit songs that you want to have. And during the reception, what songs do you want during cocktail hour? During the reception entrances for the wedding party and the newlyweds, what songs do you want for that? For first dance, what song? Special dances, like for example, the mother of the groom and the groom, or like, daddy-daughter dance, that type of stuff. And then here's a list of do not play songs. So I like that. What music should be played during dinner? What music should be played during dancing? Last songs of the reception. And then finally is transportation. So what are the transport details? Will we need it? Oh, this is cool. So do you even need transportation? Some things to consider. And then lastly, right here is accommodations, which I kind of mentioned this earlier in the contact section, but do you need accommodations after the wedding? So maybe you're going to a hotel. So that would be nice to include here. Do you need to block rooms? And then here, room blocks 101, and then things to consider for this page. So again, I didn't read every single thing, but hopefully it gives you like at least a general idea of what is included on every single page. Right here is wedding party. Okay, so here you get like an entire tab to break out the wedding party. I love us. Okay, I'll try not to read every single thing, right? So it says name, phone, and email, and then the heading here says role. Okay, so it has wedding party contact list, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 24, 24 boxes for you to write out your wedding party. And then here, the attire for the bridal party. This feels very similar to what you had earlier with the wedding, the vision and the style. But here you can break down like the actual specifics of, for example, the shop detail, the date that you're going for the shopping and for the fittings, any tasks related to attire. And then you do the same thing for the groomsmen. And then here, beauty notes. And again, it's some of the stuff that's already coming from vision and style, but you're putting the final pieces here and then breaking it out to the actual appointments. So I'm kind of seeing that as you use this, you will be going from section to section. You're flipping back and forth. You're referencing things from earlier and including it here. You will have these dates and they will go in your calendar. So it's kind of like a back and forth. You're using the entire thing as like an interactive planner. So here's hair salons, all of that's here. Makeup artists, so you would have all of those trial appointments that you can include here. Here's your wedding day schedule, like who comes when, what time, when's the makeup going on, when the hair is going on, all of that type of stuff. Hair going on, yeah, well maybe. So here, Participation. Okay, so use this sheet to check off and define the duties of each role in your wedding party. The following are suggestions. We recommend building a plan that works best for you. So here, bridal party, what are the things you want your bridal party to do? What do you want your maid or matron of honor to do? What do you want your groomsmen to do? And what do you want your best man to do? So like here, just one that stuck out to me is like keep the ring safe during the ceremony or until the ceremony, plan and host the bachelor party. So what tasks do you want to specify for the different groups of people here? Here, line up. How do you want to pair up everyone? Bride's parents, what are their tasks? Groom's parents, what are their tasks? What do you want the flower and ring bearers to do? And then any other people, how do you want them to be involved? Like, so for me, I wanted to have special readings during my wedding ceremony. And so I asked some people to read some special Bible verses. So something like that would go here. We also, of course, had some friends who sang for us during the ceremony. That they would have gone in a different section as well as one of our contacts. But here I would add that here as well. Okay, so this is gifts, right? And so you get the chance to write who the gift is for and what you want to have for the gift, and then did you purchase it? It just continues. And then here is for families and other people. So consider including gifts for your spouse to be, families, and others that may be playing a vital role in your wedding day. So I love that. So you want to include maybe some other important people in your life. All right. I have so much more to go. This is going to be a very long video. Okay, so this one says budget. With my whole heart for my whole life is what that says. This all is gold foiling, by the way. Okay, so here, setting a budget, use this worksheet to visualize and calculate a wedding budget that works for you. And it breaks it down into all of these different categories. I'm going to try to speed up a little bit and not read everything to you, but hopefully you can see that. And then here you have budget trackers, so you can break it down by the vendor, like all the budgeted type stuff that goes here. And same thing for the reception. So it's broken down by ceremony and reception. And then you have it here for wedding planning, stationery and signage, flowers and decor, attire, and beauty. They do include some example things that you already probably need to budget for, but then there's spots for you to add your own categories. Right here is photography and video, and then miscellaneous, or like all the other things. Here, order tracker. So if you order things online, here you can track those things, so that way you know when you receive them. And then this is a gratuity guide. So what are some of the suggested or required tips that you have? And then here, check your contract first tips. So things that you might want to tip them, but you want to make sure that the tips aren't built into the contract already. And then here are some optional tips and different people that you might want to consider tipping. So that's really cool. I love that. All right, guests. All right, so here for guests, who makes the cut? Use this flowchart to help curate the perfect guest list for your big day. Okay, how do you know this person? And it just has a flowchart for where they end up, whether it's a yes or a no. Here is a guest list draft. You, of course, can create a rough draft of your list, and that's front and back. And then here's the final guest list. So once you get to this stage, you need, of course, their names, but also the mailing address, any notes, and then whether you've sent the invitations to them and whether they RSVP or not. So all of that is right here for you to track, and you have several pages of that. Very useful information. And then once you start getting some of this information in, of course, you need to develop your seating chart if you have a sit-down dinner. So you want to be able to draft out the table number, the name of the table, or like, the family group if they're all sitting together, and then put these the guests together, right? So that's all there. I would consider using like pencil for some of this, because a lot of this might be like fluid or changing quite a bit. Right here is table arrangement, so you can use this to map out the layout of your tables. I definitely had to do this. I remember doing this for my wedding. It was super stressful for me, so I'm glad it's in here for you to be able to kind of like map that out. And then here for guest favors, some ideas, and then you want to be able to, of course, like consider gift registries, so you can have some options. There are 4 here for you, and then a chance for you to record all the gifts that you received. All right, and there are lots of pages related to that. I love that. That's like a whole, like, that's a really nice like guests and gifts kind of like section. And then here is vendors. The best story is the one you write together. Just before I even look at this section, I'm feeling like this might be a little bit like repetitive compared to like the context section. That's just kind of my opinion. Yeah, I mean, some of it might be like a little bit more broken down. like there's some details that you want to include here, but I feel like it's going to be repeated information that you're kind of like combining and putting in it here. So here for venue, you might have several options. So you can put that information here, important dates for like maybe you're touring the venues, final plans, questions to ask of the venues, and then notes. Same thing for the florist. Here, the information is a little bit different, of course, for what you would want to ask and kind of record for the florist. Then we have bridal attire, groom's attire. But again, I feel like maybe a little bit repetitive. Beauty hair, beauty makeup, the caterer, the menu plan, questions to ask. So yeah, I don't know. I would maybe get to the point where the contact section is the part that I feel like is duplicated. So I would probably not use the contact section and just save that for something else. That's just kind of my read of it. Here is bakery. And so again, some like space for you to write out some notes related to that. Officiant. Okay, premarital counseling notes. I love this. Okay, so of course this is like a tied right here to the officiant. So if you're taking notes here, this is a good place to put them. I would probably, I mean, I feel like I'd almost lose it in this vendor section. I feel like there might need to be like a separate section just for that. But that's just me. Right here is stationery. And again, some of this might come from your contacts. It might come from your vision. And so these might be in other areas as well. Musicians and DJ, photography, videography, rentals. We had to rent tables and chairs, so definitely we needed that. Accommodations, transportation. Again, a lot of that to me is duplications. And then you have a couple of blank pages. I really like this, where you're able to put your different options, different choices that you're considering, the final plans, the notes, and the questions to ask, and you can write them yourself, specific to whatever category it is here. And you have a couple of pages of those blank worksheets for you to use for your vendors. So again, I think that's really cool. I like that. All right, this next tab is events. It says, I do today, forever, and always, no matter what. Okay, so here, engagement party. I'm not going to read all of this to you, but basically planning out the engagement party, it is a 2-page spread here. You can include things like guest list, timeline, all that good stuff. Right, then here we have a bridal shower. For me, this is something that, someone else would plan for you. So I would make, since it's here, I would make note and like just kind of memory keep here, but I wouldn't actually be doing planning here. Same thing maybe with the bachelor and bachelorette parties. I wouldn't necessarily be planning it myself. And so it's just a chance for me to journal about it. And then rehearsal dinner. So I might be planning this. I think a lot of times the family handles the rehearsal dinner, so you get a chance again to maybe memory keep, maybe do some planning here for that. But again, I think a lot of this is just like memory keeping. All right, then here is wedding day. Forever has a nice ring to it. I love that. That's such a cute little pun. All right, so here you can vow brainstorm, so you can just kind of jot down some of the ideas of things that you want to do in terms of your vows. If you want to write your own vows, that's always, an option not to do that. And then here is some pages to draft your wedding vows. Be sure to write your final vows in a special vow book or type them out to have a fresh copy for the wedding day. All right, so you have those pages there. Here, you can write out your thoughts for the toast. Right, and then here, this is awesome. Okay, so order of events. So you can kind of jot out like the things that you want to, like what things go where, so there are some examples here. The day of itinerary, and then here you have pre-ceremony, then ceremony, and then of course a cocktail hour, reception, post-reception, and then the day after. So you can kind of draft out the different times, what's happening, and then where and who needs to help with some of that. Okay, delegation of tasks. I remember this was very important for me. Like I wanted to make sure I had designated family members for each of these areas. So ceremony setup, who's helping with that? Who's breaking down the ceremony site? Who's setting up the reception? Who's breaking down the reception? Who's the point person for the rentals? Who's the point person for managing the gifts? I had a person, this is kind of a funny one, where I had one of my family members designated as like the person to like encourage people to do the hashtags. So something like that. That's kind of fun, right? Emergency kit. Oh, this is very good, right? So what are some of the things that you want to include in like a bag? So that way, just in case you need it, you have it. So examples, tissues and wipes. I'm pretty sure there's going to be things like nail polish, a sewing kit. Yeah, that's right there. So some things that you just want to make sure you have on hand just in case there's an accident or some kind of like a tear in your dress or whatever. You want to be able to fix it, right? Name change guide. So after your, I feel like this should go after, but like definitely After the wedding, what are some of the things that you need to do in order to get your name changed if you want to change your name? And then what are some of the top priorities for which departments or which government agency you want to change it with first? So like, of course, like Social Security, etc., etc. So that's really cool. Or then here is Honeymoon. It has like just the florals. Right, trip ideas. You can write down honeymoon ideas right here with your partner. The travel budget, again, I won't read through that, but it breaks it down through transportation, accommodations, food and drink, and then activities down here. So that is cool. Travel plans, right? So all the information that for you to record your travel plans, booked activities, other details, and then your itinerary. So I have like, this has 12 days on here. My honeymoon was not that long, okay, but it does have 12 days in case you have a very long honeymoon. Is it very long? Maybe I'm just kind of like speaking from my own experience. My honeymoon was only like, I think 5 days, and I thought 5 days was long. So packing ideas. So example packing lists, you could just check it off, but you can also add your own packing list right here. And then outfit planner. Okay, so again, 12 days. You can plan each of your outfits for your honeymoon. I mean, honestly, I guess I was low key. The honeymoon at that point, I was like super relaxed. We had gone through the wedding. Our honeymoon was not right after the wedding either, so we had like kind of a gap. And we went to an all-inclusive resort, so I didn't have to do all of this. I stayed in like a bathing suit and like a super casual top and some shorts for most of the trip. Like I had one nice outfit for like a fancy dinner, but that was about it, you know? I didn't have to do all the planning that's here. But I can absolutely see that for some people, the honeymoon planning is just as fun as the wedding planning. Right, and then there's a final notes section. It says, I love you, not only for what you are, but for who I am when I'm with you. And it's just notes pages. So the back of the divider is also lined pages, and these are all just lined pages here. You can, of course, pull them out and put them into different sections, but you can also just use it as a notes section. And then here, this is so cool. This is like a sheet of like numbers, like the calendar dates, as well as the dates for the like the months for the calendar. And then here it has like some appointment stickers. This is so cool. So these are like the like some of the big tasks here, right? So fitting, bridal party attire. So you can put these into your calendar or wherever, but I see this kind of fitting in with the calendar where you can mark in your monthly calendar some of these things. That's so cool. Right, it also comes with a folder. The folder is super cute. I love that. Right, the back cover looks like this. Is a repeat of the front inside cover, and then the back is pretty much black. Okay, so that is so cool. A very long video. My take from this is that this is a very different layout from the previous iterations of the Happy Planner. So I'm almost wondering if I should do a comparison. If you're interested in that, just let me know. I might just do it just for fun, just because I think that there's some different things in here. I think most of it will be the same, but maybe the order of it is a little bit different. For me, just in looking at this and reviewing it for myself, I feel like there is some duplication. If I were using this, I feel like I would really encourage myself and others to look through the entire thing and see if there are any sections that feel a little bit like repetitive or duplicative, and just remove those sections. You don't want to write things down multiple times. And so for me, the one that stands out is like the contacts section. I would probably just remove that contacts section and just keep it to just the vendors tab, because in the vendors tab, I'm already putting their contact information. So I don't know that I need a separate section for that, for just their contacts altogether, you know? So that's just my opinion. I think otherwise, like all the sections really flowed well together. And you know, of course, some of it will be duplicated. I mean, dates and things like that will be duplicated in the calendar as well as in where you're jotting things down for your vendors. But I think that's okay. I just don't want to like write a phone number over again, you know, like so some differences there for how I interpret it, at least. But overall, I think this is a great wedding planner. Very good, very useful, very functional, very practical tips for the process of wedding planning, which can be very stressful, of course. So I hope you enjoyed this flip through. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video. Bye guys.